Hi everyone, TARDIS Guy 123 here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who Mannequin Mania. This is a DVD box set featuring two Third Doctor stories, both written by Robert Holmes, and they are Spearhead from Space and Terror of the Autons, of course. So you got the Third Doctor must face terrifying plastic Autons and the Evil Master in these two classic 1970s adventures. So obviously 2-disc box set, DVD video, BBC DVD up there, Doctor Who logo, and PG down in the corner there. So kids, if you're watching this, make sure your parents are around. So that's general just things. Obviously you don't have to take those seriously, and they're just recommendations anyway. But anyway, same stuff there, to entertain logo, whatnot, same stuff there. Back is the same, and the other side features two spines of the DVDs. So you've got Doctor Who, John Pertwee's Space, and both of them. Then Spearhead from Space and Terror of the Autons, and BBC and To Entertain logo. So that's the general stuff going on there. So now let's take a look at the individual covers. Just get them out. So here you go. And let's start off with Spearhead from Space, which is a special edition. It's easy to forget that, at least for me it is. But anyway, obviously there it is. So Spearhead from Space, got the Auton there. Channing, that was his name. I've almost forgot that for a second there. The Brigadier, some Autons, and the Third Doctor and Liz. Spine again. And then Spearhead from Space written there, and there's the synopsis, and there's the special features. You can pause it if you want to read them, or probably the easier option would be to look them up online, click on the BBC Shop or Amazon. But anyway, let's have a look on the inside, which you got your booklet there, and the disc itself, just in there so you can see that. And then the booklet itself, chapter points on one side, that stuff on the other, and on the inside you have all that stuff about the commentaries and the other special features. So now onto my thoughts on Spearhead from Space. It looks amazing, because obviously it's all been shot on film, so it looks absolutely incredible. And it makes you wish that all of Doctor Who was shot on film, or at least all of season 27, because film really does fit that gritty feeling they were going for very well. It honestly does work wonders for this story, and it's great to have that for John Pertwee's first one as the Doctor. So yeah, obviously a lot of firsts for this one, and there's a lot of firsts for Terror of the Autons as well, because this is the first John Pertwee story, first Auton story, first colour story, first story all shot on film, first Lee Shaw story, lots of firsts. First story in the Doctor's Exile, the list goes on. But anyway, and the story itself, as I was saying earlier, is a lot of fun. 4 parts, so not as long as the other ones from season 7, which were all 7 parts. So you know, it's a nice short story if you don't like the longer ones. I know there are some people who feel beyond 6 parts it's just got lots of padding in it and whatnot. I personally don't feel that way. Obviously some stories do, it varies from story to story, but anyway, this story, as I was saying, has a lot of good stuff in it. And interestingly enough, the Autons here, that's a scene from when they attack and whatnot, come out the shop windows and everything, and obviously you're going to have to compare it to Rose, and that's what I'm going to do here, because they are two very different things. But interesting, you know, people would argue that Rose's stuff is better, but when you actually look at it, you don't actually see anyone die in Rose, in the attack in Rose. It's very odd that you see shots being fired and you hear people die, but you don't actually see the shot hitting them, if that makes sense. Whereas here, you see the shots hitting them, and then you get the smoke coming out and whatnot. You know, your standard Auton stuff. But with Rose, when it hits them, well, you just don't see that. You just don't see it hit them. you'd see them fall down sometimes. I think I'll have to go rewatch Rose sometime. But, you know, they are two very different attack scenes. And, you know, the memory cheats a little this one. You kind of like think they actually did do the glass, but when you watch it back, you just hear the glass shattering, but not on screen. You don't actually see it shattering. But anyway, the Brigadier is great in this, and he is our main point of association, I guess, because he's the only one we've seen before. New Doctor, new companion, new everything, really. TARDIS plays very little role in this, although it plays even less of a role in some later Jon Pertwee stories. But, you know, the Brigadier is very much our point of identification here, because he's the one we've seen 2 times before in The Web of Fear and The Invasion, of course. So, yeah, but Liz Shaw, this is also a very good introduction for her as well. And, you know, part 1 very much serves as her introduction, because the Doctor sits much of that one out and does an odd comical routine. I'm not sure how I feel about that. You know, I'm not sure how I feel about his role in the first 2 episodes. During the second 2, he is amazing. He is definitely the Doctor. During the first 2, however, not so much, I'm afraid. But anyway, obviously, different opinions, whatnot. But overall, the story is very good. The Autons are very strong in this. They're probably the creepiest in this. Although some will argue it's Terror of the Autons. Some will probably even argue it's Rose. I don't know. But I personally think they are the creepiest in this story, just about. I'll talk more about that in Terror of the Autons review. So let's take a look at that right now. Here we go. And obviously you've got the Master there, Jo Grant, and again, a lot of firsts in the story. Got first Master story, first Jo Grant story, and first Mike Yates story, and there's probably quite a few other ones in there as well, which I don't really care to mention. So anyway, radio telescope, that van thing that they drive around in, different type of Auton there. Different type of Auton there, you could argue, because that is technically an Auton. It's made of plastic and whatnot. But anyway, PG once again. Jon Pertwee years 1970 to 1974. This is from 71. The other one, obviously, being his first story, is from 1970. Anyway, there you got Terror of the Autons. You've got the blurb there and the special features. And as I said before, you can go look that up on BBC Shop or whatever. Don't really want to waste too much time reading through that now. But anyway, here's your disc, and here's your overview bit in the leaflet. Obviously, 2 sides, and on the inside you have all this fun stuff about the commentary and whatnot once again. So, now on to my thoughts on the story. Obviously, Roger Delgado's debut as the Master. Oh goodness, it's not going to stand up. No, it's going backwards now. That. I'm just going to have to hold it, I'm afraid. It's not going to stand up. Anyway, obviously, as I said, Roger Delgado's debut as the Doctor, as the Master, and he is incredible. He really is. Those who know me well will know that he is my favourite Master. He's a lot of people's favourite Master, actually. And, you know, he is great in this. He oozes villainy, and he doesn't kind of like do a stupid thing. He doesn't end up giving the Autons to the Doctor or anything like that. Have a bit of a dig at Death in Heaven there. But anyway, you know, he's very villainous. There is a bit of an odd twist at the end, though, where he suddenly realises, ooh, they may betray me. I'm sure he thought about that before, but anyway, yeah, it doesn't entirely work, the ending. But other than that, it's a great story for him. And Roger Delgado is sublime. He really is. And Jo Grant, obviously, her first story, Katie Manning, she is great in this. And interesting, she's one of those few companions who actually develops. I mean, if you watch this story and go straight to the Green Death, you'll see how much she changed. Or maybe Frontier in Space, actually, or just anything from her final year, and you'll see how much she has changed from here to there. It is great to see that kind of like development of her character. I'm not sure why I'm spinning it, I'm just going to look at the map now. Anyway, as I was saying, you know, Mike Yates' first story as well, he does a good job in this. you know, he's fairly towards the background, but you kind of like get the idea that there's this familiarity between him, Doctor, the Brigadier, and Benson and whatnot. You know, he integrates well into that unit family, I guess. But anyway, is it going to stand now? No, it's still not standing. That's annoying. But anyway, as I was saying, overall, Terror of the Autons is a great story. Oh, the Autons themselves in this, you know, they kind of get to a bit comical in a way, I'm going to say. You kind of like get to a certain age and you move away from that kind of like scary, obscure nature of it, and it becomes a bit more comical. Maybe it's just because of familiarity for me, I don't know. But nevertheless, I find the Autons in Spearhead from Space scarier than the Autons from Terror of the Autons. But anyway, obviously, great story. I'm going to flip back around to the front again now. Is it? It's actually standing. This is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. The DVD is standing. It's going to fall over in a minute, I know it. But anyway, obviously, great story. And now that I finally got that standing, I'm going to take it away and put it back in the box with Spearhead from Space. And end off this review by saying, oh, did I rate them? I'll do that now. Spearhead from Space, I'm going to go 8 out of 10. Terror of the Autons, I'm going to go 8 out of 10 as well. But Spearhead from Space would probably be a high 8 out of 10. That would be a middle 8 out of 10. So that's my general thoughts on that. Obviously that will stand because it's much thicker, because it's got two DVD cases in it. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I know I enjoyed making it, despite this being like the 4th take. God knows, the background fell down, loads of other stuff that's not very fun. But anyway, I'm glad I finally got this done now. So I hope you're glad it's finally over. Oh god. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you all next time with who knows what. Bye everyone.